All right, everybody, this goes for every person out there driving today. Now, I'm not saying I am the best driver, but I will tell you that I drive better than the majority of people out there. So this goes for police, this goes for truck drivers, this goes for ambulance drivers, this goes for people who, driving instructors. They actually do the same thing wrong. These are all the things that I see people doing wrong on the road, and I'm going to start pointing it out. Maybe you didn't even know you were doing them wrong. And so let's get going. Okay, this is I'm not an art teacher, so don't try to point that out. If you're on a 4-lane road and a bus is traveling this way and he stops, you do not have to stop in this lane. It's on the other side of the road. It's 4 lanes. You don't have to stop. But if it was a 2-lane, you have to stop right here because you're traveling in the opposite direction. But 4-lane road, you do not have to stop when it's dropping off the kids because he will turn around or go wherever and go down this side of the road and drop them off over there. And then if you're traveling on this side, you do not have to stop. So there you go. Okay, say there's a light here for your lane. You can turn right on red unless there's a sign stating you cannot turn left or right on red. So you can't turn left on red at any time, but you can always turn right on red unless there's a sign stating that. So I've seen people wait for that light to turn green, and you don't have to. Just turn right. So you're good there. All right, here's another one. When you're making a right turn, if the light turns green, if there's no sign saying you can't make a right turn on red, when you turn, you have to stay in this lane. Then you use your turn signal, then you get in this lane. So if the person behind you all of a sudden wants to just go out around this lane and get in this lane, and then you cut him off, he cannot get mad because you use your turn signal. You're supposed to stay in this lane and then get over. So if he hits you, he is at fault. So always get into the right lane, then use your turn signal, get into the right lane. The same way you're going on this side of the road, this road too. Okay, say this is 2 lanes. If you make a left turn, you're supposed to stay in this lane. Then use your turn signal to get in this lane. Don't just go all the way out around there. No, that's a no-no. Okay, say you're traveling down the highway and you're traveling in this direction and you want to get in this lane. There's a thing next to your steering wheel. It's a little signal thing that turns the turn signal that flashes back here and up here to let people know around you which way you're going. And if you want to get in this lane, you have to use your turn signal or you signal that you're getting into this lane. The same way as if you're in this lane and you want to get over here, you have to use a signal to get into that lane. The same thing as if you're going off an exit ramp, you have to use your signal to get to let everybody know you're getting in that turn signal. I've seen police do this, I've seen ambulance drivers do this, I see truck drivers do this. The only person I don't see do this is the State Highway Patrol. Bam. Always use your turn signals when you're getting in either lane or you're getting off an exit ramp. You have to. It's the law. You can get pulled over for it. Okay, this is another one. This is the police. It could be a police car, it could be a fire truck, it could be an ambulance, it could be a tow truck. If they're pulled off the side of the road and their lights are on, you are in this lane, you have to get over in this lane. That is the law. It gives them room because, you know, unless you can't slow down and let people go by and then get over in that lane. Because it's a safety thing, man. It's a law too. So you can actually get nailed. If there's another cop, he can actually chase after you and pull you over. All right, this is another one. When you're going to use, see, there's a thing on your steering wheel. I think I've mentioned it before. This is a steering wheel. There's a thing that you can move up or you can move down that sends a signal that on the outside of your car what you're doing. And then a lot of people will use their phone up to the left. They shouldn't be using their phone, period. But a lot of people have their phone up to their ear in their left hand, so they think that they don't have to use their turn signals. So you're stopped and you're sitting there waiting for me to drive by, and I'm like, what's this clown doing? Why is he stopped? Because she or he has the phone up to their ear and they're not using that little signal thing there. The same way if you're on a motorcycle, the blinker is even closer to your hand than it is on that thing. Motorcycles, hey, how about using your turn signals? It's even easier than a car. Okay, this is one here. When you have cars going in the same direction, you're at a stoplight. These are stoplights right there, okay? And the lights turn green. And a lot of cars start going, and the cars back here way in the back, like maybe 6 or 7 cars, they start going faster. And what the problem is, you need to slow down as you're taking this corner, because the faster you go, the more chances are you're going to cut it off and hit this guy in this lane. Slow down when you're taking the corner. Make sure your tires are over that dotted line in your lane. And you're supposed to stay in this lane. Don't cut over and just get in this lane. Same with the idiots in this lane. When you turn the corner, just don't get over there because they're in that lane. But slow down when you're taking the corner. You're cutting that off. It works a lot easier for everybody. All right, motorcycles. Check your headlights. I see a lot of people put these things on their cars, say, hey, start watching for, look out for motorcycles. Why? When most of them, well, not most of them, but I do see some of them with no headlights even working at all. And they don't even use the turn signals either. And they're weaving it out of the traffic. Why should I watch for you when you're driving like a damn idiot? Make sure your blinkers work. I always do on my car. I turn my blinkers on before I leave because it's at nighttime. I usually, driving out and it's dark, and I'm leaving my house, and I'll turn the blinkers on, and I'll make sure that they're working. I can see it on the road and stuff like that. Motorcycles should do the same damn thing. I notice some motorcycles, their turn signals are so small on these sport bikes that you can't even see the turn signal. I did notice it. It was so dim. I says they should basically, dude, just check your lights. Make sure your lights are working if you want people to see you. All right, this one's pretty self-explanatory. Use your turn signals before you slow down, because people are wondering, why is this clown slowing down? Is there someone in front of him? No, there's nobody in front of him. Why are they slowing down? Then you turn your turn signal on. Oh, he's turning his turn signal on. No, do it before you start hitting your brakes, not after, and not while you're turning. Before. See? Keyword. All right, this is another one. You're going down a highway doing 65, 70 mile an hour. Don't get up on this guy's butt. He can't see you as it is, all right? And if he blows out a tire, that stuff is going to come flying back, and you're not going to be able to avoid it. So you need to get really far back behind that guy. The same way as if you're on the side of him. Better pass him quick, because that tire blows out. It's going to hit your car, and it's going to mess your car up. Don't hang out in that lane. Get on by him. All right, this goes for a lot of people. I see a lot of people do this. This is so wrong. All right? You're traveling down the highway and you're coming up on this guy and he's going slower. All right? You turn your turn signal on, you're going to get in this lane here. But as you're getting in this lane, you're getting closer and closer and closer to this guy. If a deer runs out or a dog or something runs out in front of him, he's going to hit his back, he's going to hit his brakes, and you're going to clip the back of his car. See, I've seen people getting like 5 feet from your damn bumper before they're even in this lane. You need to get the heck over, and then go up, and then get up. You know what? I see people will be up your ass as they're getting over. They're not even in this lane yet. They're probably like right here. They're going to clip, but they give you like 5, 6 feet there or 10 feet, but they give you like a quarter mile up here when they get over in front of you. Now, why do you do that? Why don't you give them the same distance you do in the front as you should do in the back? Why do people do that? As they're getting over, they're getting closer and closer. Then they get over. That's just you're gonna kill yourself and probably somebody else, because they're gonna spin out and hit a pole just because you're too stupid to get the hell over and get around them. Don't get up their ass when you're getting over. Okay, when you come up to an intersection, you're either going to run into a light or a stop sign. Now, this guy will stop here. He'll stop. He'll look which way to go, and then he'll go out on the highway. He'll go this way, he'll go this way, or go wherever way. He did not stop for you. If you're behind him, he did not stop for you. So when you pull up, you have to stop as well. I see this all the time outside my house getting on the highway. This guy goes, and this guy doesn't even stop. He just follows right behind him. I see it all the time. You have to. He didn't stop for you. You have to stop yourself. This is the head. This is the screen and the headlights. If the windscreen, you like that, British? If your lights are on, most states, in the state of Ohio, you have to do this. If your wipers are on, your lights have to be on. I see a lot of cars with daylight running lamps. They should be turned on. They're not running. And I'm wondering if you can probably get into if you get into an accident, your insurance probably might not cover it because you turned them things off. I'm not sure. But if your wipers are on, turn your lights on. All right, this is another one. If it's 65 miles per hour, and there's like 4 inches of snow on the roads, and it's snow covered, you do not have to do 65 miles per hour. You can actually get pulled over for that because you're not driving for the conditions. And it's just, if it, I swear to God, if it was 95 mile an hour, you would have, people with their kids in the car, their wife in the car, whoever in the car, and come hell or high water, they're going to do 95 no matter what, because that's the speed limit. And they'll just eventually either kill themselves or kill somebody else or something like that because they want to do the speed limit no matter what. Do the speed limit for the right conditions, even if it's raining. All right, I see people do this all the dang time. Every day I go to work, it's dark, and there's a bridge that's on the highway, and it's actually on a slope, a slight decline, but not enough to worry about. It could be drier. The roads could be drier than a popcorn fart, and these people will go down there and hit their brakes on this bridge. Why do they hit their brake? The majority of people hit their brakes going on a bridge. It's a normal size, it's just as wide as the road. Why do people hit their brakes going over the bridge? You know what's going to happen in the wintertime, because if you get into a habit of doing that, there's airflow that goes underneath this dang thing, and if there's any water on here, it's going to freeze and turns that into a sheet of ice. It'll freeze a heck of a lot quicker than a road here because there's air flowing around it. And it's going to freeze it, and you're going to start spinning and busting up stuff that you don't want to be busted up. Don't hit your brakes going over a bridge, period. If it's in the wintertime, you can just let your foot off the gas and coast over the darn thing. The same with green lights. If the light's green, if it just turns green, I see people hit their brakes. The light's green. Just go. You're coming up on it and you're slowing down. It's not yellow, it's not red. And if you're worried about it turning green, maybe you're driving too fast. You're a mile away from somebody, behind somebody. Turn your high beams off. Turn them off. Because that blinds people even a mile away. If it was up to me, all high beams would be gone except for on emergency vehicles or stuff like that. Because people don't know how to use them. If you can see their brake lights, turn your high beams off. There you go. Okay, now this is the last one. Say you're going down a highway. This lane is not the driving lane. You shouldn't be driving in this lane. It's only for passing cars that are in this lane going slower than you. So you have to get around them and get in this lane. So you're driving in this lane for any extended period of time. I know in Ohio, if you're in this lane for more than 2 miles, you can get pulled over and get a ticket. As stupid as that sounds, that's what it is. It's the fast lane or basically the passing lane. So if nobody's in that lane, you got to get in this lane. So there you go. All right, so there you go. Some things that you probably didn't know that you were doing incorrectly. If you have any other ideas, put them in the comment section below. Maybe, I can learn something from maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe the laws vary in different states. I don't know. So I've seen police cars do that, don't use turn signals. I've seen ambulance drivers. I've seen truck drivers. I've seen a lot of people that were supposed to be driving correctly, even driving instructors. It's the only person in the car, so I'm thinking that might be the instructor driving the car home or something. They don't drive correctly, and they get in the wrong lanes and this and that, and they don't use their turn signals. So, like I said before, I'm not the best driver on the road, but I do believe I'm one of the better ones. You know, so there you go, and thanks for watching. I need a beer.